Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the two videos remaining on 8.3.1 exploration. I know I've been getting a lot of messages to complete that up. So if you've already done 8.3, congratulations. Move on to 8.4 and get that Valiant title. But if you're still around here trying to finish 8.3.1, I know they have been quite late, but here are the first of the two final videos on exploration. Now the one we are going to do today has the node's weapon internal engine, disarm with the striker, unarmed gives extra energy damage by 200%, and you can capture the weapon with a heavy knockdown and heavy bias, so the defender is more likely to launch heavy attacks 30% often. The defenders are going to be Night Thrasher, Morningstar, Blade, Joe Fixit, Thor Ragnarok and Void. Now first important question, do we need relics for this one? Yes, you will need relics because you will use them to disarm the opponent and you can do some extra damage after that. For your boost and mastery, you can use any setup, suicides or non-suicides. Your regular boost will also work, but I went in non-boosted here. And the champions that work great are going to be your high energy damage champions. Preferably use champions that are also having your class advantage. So I've given quite a few options here, they all work. So just make sure that you look at the immunities. For example, there's Night Thrasher, that is going to be the first champion. There's also Void, so they both are incinerate immune, so don't take a sunspot there, but options like with Cold Snap or Shock can work. And for the boss island, there is going to be a Vulture with spaced armor, electric defense. If you do Alliance War and you do path number 3, you're very much used to doing this one. And usually you bring in Hulkling there, or you bring, if there's a tech champion, you bring in Venoms and it works out. So we're going to use the same strategy. So let's jump into the path. So the first fight is against a Night Thrasher. I am just bringing in a Domino. All I'm going to do is to build up my striker as quick as possible. And once I have that, I'm going to use that striker and unarm the opponent. Now ideally you would like to bring a champion that has a lot of energy damage, but at the time of recording this video I did not have a champion with high energy damage. Now I have a Storm as well, I have Iceman as well. They would have worked really well here because of the extra 200% damage when you unarm the opponent. So yeah, those would have been some good choices, but that's okay. Domino can hold on her own and you are able to get down Night Thrasher. So this path is all about using your striker, unarming the opponent and doing the extra damage with your energy attacks. And if you want to capture the weapon for yourself, you can also use a heavy attack. So that's how this path works. Next up is going to be a Morningstar. I brought in a Photon. A Photon has some energy damage on her with her SP1s, so I am going to slowly build up to 2 bars of power and activate with at least 15 charges in the pure light form and then spam my SP1s. Also Photon is going to be bleed immune, so I don't have to worry about Morningstar applying any kinds of bleeds on me. So this champion just works. You can also use champions like Human Torch, they also work here. So generally any bleed immune champion can work against Morningstar. Try to use somebody with energy damage so that you can do extra damage and you can finish off the fight faster. Next up is going to be a Blade, and I'm going to use a Sunspot here. Now because he does not have an immunity of any kind when it comes to Incinerate, Sunspot works really well. I know a lot of people have him rank 2, so he works perfectly well here. Only one thing you need to take care about, Blade will reduce the duration of the Incinerates because of the more power he has. He's an old champion, so some of the kits some people can forget, so make sure that you always keep him to 1 bar of power only and let him throw that special one out that you can also try and block. And once you have 2 bars of power while he's unarmed, throw that SP2 out and that should do some great amount of damage. Look at the energy damage with crit and boom, there goes Blade. So your best champions for the bath are like Sunspots, your Storms, your Bishops, also your Icemans. They work really well. Next fight is against a Joe Fixit. Same thing. Now again, Baron Zemo is not the best option, but I just tried to bring in champions that I had ascended, so I can finish off the fight faster. But in hindsight, if I brought in a champion with energy damage skill, like for example a Black Widow Deadly Origin, she would have been much better for this fight. So yeah, those are the choices you have to make, right? And I am going using Baron Zemo. It does take long, and I think I push him to an SP3 and I die here, and I had to come back with a different champion to take him out. But yeah, the concept is the same. Build up your SP1s or your SP2s, use a striker to disarm the opponent so you can do extra damage on your energy attacks, and then spam your energy attacks to finish off the fight quick. One quick thing with Joe Fixit, make sure you push him to an SP2. The SP1 can be annoying to deal with, and for the SP2 just use 4-hit combos and block, and that will force Joe Fixit to throw a heavy attack, giving you an opening to go in and push him to an SP2. Fight number 5 is going to be against the Thor Ragnarok. I'm going to use my trusty Sunspot again with all of that extra damage, building up to an SP1 and increasing my charges. And again, now I'm going to build up a striker. Try to get as close to 2 bars of power as possible. There we go. And now use a striker for all the extra energy damage, and in one SP2 I can take out Thor Ragnarok. So yeah, Sunspot is pretty fun on this path, so is Iceman, so is a couple of other champions that do all of that energy damage. So here is the disarm, you can see the extra energy damage, and there goes a big SP2, boom, and he's out. Final fight is going to be against a Kingpin and against a Void. I'm going to use a Kingpin here with SP1 spams. Now you just need to be careful. Kingpin is not the best option because his rage counts as debuff and you can take quite a bit of damage from Void. In hindsight, the best champion here could have been a Black Widow Deadly Origin with her shocks, or a champion like Elsa Bloodstone with her energy damage with incinerates and cold snaps. That would have worked really well. So try to get those skill based champions that do shock or incinerate, any kind of energy damage. They are much better here for this one. But anyway, my Kingpin is ascended, so I was doing enough damage to take him out. But if you don't have an ascended option, try to bring the skill champion with energy damage and to time the shrug off with the 10th hit, and it should work out. So if you bring in, or if you can bring in some champion that auto shrug off non-damaging debuff, that works too. So Elsa Bloodstone is a really cool option for this fight. And the boss fight is going to be a Vulture and the nodes here are going to be clean state, electric defense, spaced armor, transducer, and gifted. So his ability accuracy cannot be reduced, and with transducer, if you do not use your special, you're gonna keep constantly losing power. Space armor, whenever you are power locked, you cannot throw a special power, you are special locked. And electric defenses, as long as there's an armor on Vulture and you hit him, you are going to get damage with power burn, and you're gonna be special locked. So the best way here is to bring in champions that can bypass the power burn. So my favorite champs are going to be your Hulkling, both the Venoms. Terex will also work because Vulture is a metallic champion. So plenty of options that you can use. You can also use a Magneto here, but you just have to use parry and heavy, but that's not the best option, I could say. I think Vox works here as well. The new champion Serpent should also do a good job here because he's also immune to space armor. So yeah guys, that is going to be it for this part. Thanks for joining in. One more remaining for 8.3.1, and I really appreciate you guys hanging around, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.